my name's Donna Vio. I'm with The Masquerade, and what have I been doing all week? I joined a free motion quilting challenge that I found online that Angela Walters is hosting. And I thought I would challenge myself and do this quilting challenge on my Treadle machine. So that was 4 weeks ago. There's 7 weeks into this, so I joined the challenge 3 weeks late. And then it's been 4 weeks and I hadn't even started it. So what I've been doing all weekend, I've been making the quilt, and I'm going to catch up really quick. So the quilt is a bunch of left and right facing blocks put together, and then each block is quilted with a different free motion pattern that she shows you online. It's a great little challenge. I'm going to do it all on the Treadle machine. So I'll come right back and show you what I've got done. So the pattern Angela uses is just done in 2 colors. She's doing it in pink and white. And I chose to just go to my stash. What I didn't like is that the batiks didn't have a lot of contrast. So I decided to put some piping in my blocks. I'm using yarn for my piping, a regular size yarn. It's just narrow enough that yarn fits in there really nice. So that's a piping foot. So I'm making these quilt blocks for the Free Motion Quilt Challenge with Angela Walters, and I added some piping into the blocks. So instead of putting opposite sides on and then opposite sides on, I just work my way around the block with the sides, and this is how I do it. I take my block and I decide which one's going to be first. So I know I'm going to be sewing this seam, and I want to place my piping so that the raw edges are next to the raw edges of both the square and the sides of the square. And when I get to the end, I'm not going to go off the end, because I need to snip the piping so it'll make it around the corner. So I'm just going to end right at the end of my foot with the end of my block. So I snip just the piping, not the block, from the corner of the block to the stitching on the piping at an angle like a miter. And now my piping will nicely turn the corner like that. So this, I'm just going to finger press it flat. And now it's time to place my next piece. And I put it right sides together. I make sure my piping's nice and flat. And I'm just going to start stitching up at the edge and do all the way to the end and finish the corner the same way. Here we are near the end of the block, and I'm going to do the same thing. And snip it at an angle. I fold that up. Just going to finger press it. Take my next piece. So I've come to the last corner, and I've cut my piping so that it's a little bit past the beginning point. And I'm going to coax it underneath a little bit, the first piping, and bend it off to the right. And then when I come down there, I'm going to just stitch over all that right to the end. And there's the corner at the end. Well, this was a lot of fun, making this free pattern to go with the Free Motion Quilt Challenge. But even more fun is going to be the quilting. So I'm going to get busy with all that free motion quilting. See you soon. I have to say that I'm constantly not even looking at what I'm quilting, but I'm looking over to my right here at the belt, and I'm making sure my quilt isn't getting caught in it. Because if the quilt got caught down into this hole here with the belt, if it gets sucked in or caught on this bobbin winder here, it would first of all mess up the quilt because this isn't always clean. We oil a lot of these parts, but it would maybe ruin the quilt. So I'm getting my feet going and my hands are moving and I'm not watching the needle, I'm watching the belt. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but I'm having a blast. Well, I managed to do it. In 5 short days, I did 7 weeks on this quilt. So I'm all caught up. I'm looking really forward to week 8. We have 4 blocks we haven't done anything in, so I guess there's a week 9, and then maybe we'll quilt around the blocks. I don't know what she's got in store for us, but I'll keep you posted. So even with all my other sewing, weddings, prom seasons here, keeps me busy, I was able to squeeze in a few midnight quilt nights. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you.